since we come to Seattle. So the nice thing about Germain is, he's going to have the flexibility to play a couple of spots. I think it's the same with the DeMarcus Webb kid we signed. So as typical of us, we try to find guys that are going to be able to play more than one spot. But I think long term down the road, you see him as a guy that can be kind of a cornerstone player for you to tackle.
John just described him as an ass kicker. How would you describe him?
Yeah, no, one of the things I tried to do in the workout was to, press him, see how far I could take him, and he never backed down. Handled the workout beautifully, and one of the characteristics going in, I knew there was a toughness about him. Since he became a starter, hadn't missed a day, whether it was a game or practice. So you're talking about a big, powerful guy with a lot of length, a little bit raw fundamentally. So there's some cleanup to do, but it's an easy fix, I think. But what I liked about him was around the school and around there, if there was an issue at Texas A&M, this was a guy who fixed those kind of issues. And so he's wired right, and he's not about BS. He's about work, and terrific brain on him. So very excited.
Tom, you guys have talked about the difficulty of developing college line and now.
Yeah.
Is he a guy who you think can develop quickly enough to be an impact player in year one?
Well, you certainly hope so. I mean, that's obviously why we picked him with the 31st pick. And the fact that he played both guard and tackle in college, I think bodes well for him and us. For me, I think when you watch him, he can get out of whack, but probably was the one guy the scouts and I felt like could right himself. He can get out of whack, but get himself back in position. And I think he was picked for a reason. I think he's the one guy that you feel like you can clean up right away.
He said that you told him that sometimes his technique can kind of go awry.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that you saw when that happened?
It's really the style of play. What they do, everything's kind of a retreat set, and you just back up, catch, and hold on. And in this league, that won't do it. You got to close space on people and use your strength and your power and size. So he's going to have to learn how to do that. He's going to have to learn how to play with leverage. It's not a system where he's coming from where they come off the ball and try to knock you back and all those things. So the cool thing is he's wired to do that. It's just a matter of teaching him and getting him the reps to do it. But very, very excited about that. Distance for me to get him where he needs to be, I think is rather short.
Was there a game that stood out as you were scouting him?
I think one of the things really valuable to know, and we all do in the coaching business, when you play in that particular league, the SEC, you're probably more ready in terms of the NFL coming in as a lineman because you're playing in all those big crowds and loud noise against extremely talented pass rushers pretty much every week. So the competition and all that won't faze him a bit.